Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. Intro time. It's time for the intro. I am back to do another intro. Here comes the intro. I don't have one. I'm not prepared with an intro for you. Yesterday's intro, top 5 most famous people, I kind of want to do that one again because I actually talked about this with my friends and they brought up some interesting people that I didn't think of. One of my friends said that in terms of like influence on history, you got to put Genghis Khan on there, and I think that Genghis Khan is a very solid choice. I also another one I missed was Alexander the Great. Both very interesting choices. I tried to redo this question with 5 people who are the most famous like presently. This is a bit harder because like if you were to have to go on the street and list 5 people and find a random person and have them know those 5 people, who would you say? I think in recent memory it's probably like Stephen Hawking. A few actors would make this list for sure. I didn't even think of musicians during this listing either. Like Elvis Presley is probably a good one. John Lennon. There's a lot of options here. Come to think of it. Anyway, that's not that. I guess that's the intro. That's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm supposed to be talking about Monster Train. But I've been really having fun thinking about this question in terms of like who are some of the most universally known people in all of time, and then you extrapolate that into current existence. Someone who comes to mind for me here as an actor would be Robert Downey Jr. or Leonardo DiCaprio. But I don't know, there's definitely going to be people who don't know who those people are. For sure, you can find someone in the world who doesn't know who Leonardo DiCaprio is. Anyway, that's the intro. It's just me talking about yesterday's intro question because I was thinking about it a lot today. I actually really like questions like that. Another one that I've gone through with my friends recently, and maybe this will just be something for a future intro. I did a discussion with my friends of what do you think the most iconic albums of a genre were in the year 2000, or like in the 2000s. Another interesting question. Feel free to get ahead of tomorrow's intro by answering that question in the comments now, and then when I read it tomorrow, I can go, wow, how'd they know what tomorrow's intro is gonna be? But anyway, I hope that you're doing well today. We can get into it now. What is it today? It's Wednesday for yourself? It's Tuesday for me. It's very late. This is going to be a rough episode. Thankfully, we're Wendleton, so it's not going to be super intense, but it is very late. My time management is poor. It's closing in on 4 a.m., but I've been getting up earlier because of school. So, get ready. Mentally prepare yourself. And yeah, don't forget to like the video, comment the video, subscribe the video. We got Chase Seraph today, which is nice because it's not Diligent Seraph. Finally free. Explosive Sigil, Daedalus, Failure Arcus, Chase Seraph, Sharpen, Hornbreak, Awake. Awake is an excellent starting card. I think that might be one of the best Exile, or probably just one of the best Awoken starting cards in the game. Nice, we got Strangler. Okay, we got Strangler. Thank God. This is not going to be a particularly thought-intensive run for myself. I'm happy to find that out. I think that taking this trial is a little risky, but we have imps, so I shouldn't be too worried about it. Hornbreak is good since we're Exile Hellhorned here as well. Imps are a nice little addition. And Hornbreak to kill stuff off is good as well. I'll save the damage. This train store definitely dies. I have to. The problem on this one is going to be keeping your boy back here alive. We have Awake though. Usually the way that you lose these is by having Wendleton die, but with Awake, as long as I prioritize playing it when I draw it, he should be fine. Also throw like a train steward at this, and that full blocks this attack. I'm not I can, if I'm not cautious, we can die to Discipled Inquisitor here. He is, if I'm not paying attention to what Wendleton's attack is anyway, I can, end up just shy. So, worth mentioning and keeping in mind that it's always within our grasp to lose this first combat without like Razor Sharp Edge or Wildwood Sap in your starter anyway. It's Chase Seraph, but regen can work. Sorry, I had a yawn there. I'm trying to think of what I would want as my frontliner for Wendleton here. Maybe it's just him. Maybe he does it. I think so. I was thinking about maybe taking Steel Enhancer, but oh yeah, Ritual of Battle for sure. Absolutely. There's your game plan. I don't think that I want to go right here. Yeah, I'm going to try to make Ritual of Battle. I mean, I'm just going to make Ritual of Battle cost 1 here. This is the setup to a Rage Adaptive Mutation run. That's what this is the setup for. 100%. Missing double stack is fine. I could have double stack instead and we could start doing Wildwood Saps, but I'm happy to do it this way as well. I think that either option is winning, so I could take Wilting Sapwood. It's like fine. I don't think it's particularly good though. I'm gonna try to take a drink of water here to stop yawning so much. You might be wondering, why was I up so late? I did end up not streaming today. I've been kind of changing up the stream schedule in that I have been doing a more... I've been less structured with the stream schedule. I'm just kind of streaming when I feel like it. Or rather, not streaming when I don't feel like it, if that makes sense. I'm just, instead of specifically having 2 days where I don't stream, I'm just streaming like this, yeah. Streaming and then taking time off on the days. Like tonight I was like, I'm really not feeling it. I feel like it's helping me a little bit. I've been having a bit of a... I mentioned earlier, I feel like I'm in a bit of a content slump, so I'm trying to find ways to alleviate that. But I just haven't been... it shouldn't be this late. There was like a very short period of time where I was recording these episodes way earlier in the afternoon. And by way earlier, I mean I was just trying to get them in before stream, and that time has passed. I don't know why. But maybe I'll get back to not recording so late. These episodes are also a lot more... Is this the same choice? I don't remember what the middle card was, but these cards were the same. I'm gonna take another sap. This is a similar choice. This isn't a Welder Helper run, though. I guess it could be a Welder Helper run. It could have been a Welder Helper run. I'm playing Wildwood Sap, though. I feel like often I end up trying to do too many things in these runs and losing for it. We don't need to do too much here. Wendleton can handle everything. Oh, wow. Trample Stone is really dumb here. Quick Tome is like a nice little insurance policy against missing Quick Wendleton, but Umbra Stone is really silly for this run. It's like, it's better to take the Quick Stone there, don't get me wrong, but at this point I am going to take the Trample Stone because the Trample Stone is goofy. Yeah. I don't have a good handle on how much damage this ends up equating, but it's gonna be a lot. Basically, if you don't know, I'll talk about it a little more when we actually have it happen, but trample damage carries through to the next enemy in line regardless. How do I put this? There's an easy way for me to say this out loud. Trample, so it's just trample damage on the backmost enemy just carries through to the frontmost enemy. That's how trample works. So Daedalus takes 53 here, as you can see. This is a perfect example. Wendleton's 28 damage hits each of these clergymen and then just carries through. It doesn't quite cascade how I would expect, actually. How does this work? Hang on a minute. It's like trample plus sweep is super strange. I guess it's the sweep attack maybe is only counted as one attack. I'm surprised because I thought that was going to do way more. But you can see that his 28 damage kills this front enemy. It basically just means that he carries damage through the heavies a little better. If you have a better way of explaining this, please feel free to drop me a comment of this that's much easier for someone to read and understand, because I'm not actually super confident on how it works anymore. It looks to me like it's 1 instance of damage for 70, so it does 70 to all of them, and then the 64, if there were another enemy here, it would do 70 to each of them, and then 64 damage would carry through to another enemy. That's how it appears to me here. However, I'm really not sure now. I guess I could have played that. There was no reason to skip it. And do I die to Daedalus here? I don't think I died to Daedalus here. Pretty sure this wins. I'll block that damage. We want to get this healing going a bit more. You win this? No, you don't win this. Never mind. Huh. Well, this round just died. There was a turn. I want to replay this combat, so I'm going to. I got super invested in talking about how trample works and then died. I need to actually utilize my brain to get through this combat, but I'm not doing that. I very much made a lot of mistakes. So we're gonna play this combat, but this time I'm going to make good decisions instead of bad ones. Basically, I'm gonna hold Wildwood Sap and kill enemies a little more. I don't remember if I held Wildwood Sap last time or not, but we're gonna hold on to Wildwood Saps here. And we're not going to just brainlessly play them like I did. Queens and Flings I toss. I want to make sure that I have a Train Steward in front, or maybe behind even. Probably in front though. We're gonna focus a little bit more on, because I'll play Awake on him next time I draw it, so he'll heal all of this back. We're gonna focus a little more on actually just buffing his attack. Will I see this Wildwood Sap again? I don't think I will. Maybe I will if I play all the root seeds. So you see, this is gonna be, I completely zoned out thinking about that trample stuff and how it works, and I did not play this combat out in a way. I basically just completely disrespected Daedalus and died, and I deserve that death. However, at the same time, this is a bit more like how this combat should have looked. Yeah. Like, under no circumstances should I have ever lost that combat. I was just completely focused on trying to work out in my mind how Trample Sweep works, and then I died. Oh hey, it's a Rage Adaptive Mutation run. How silly. I think I take Draw here, even though we have Root Seeds. I think this is Draw Energy for me. Arcus Failure Incarnate. Okay, this is gonna be Draw Energy. I'll take Draw first. Maybe I take Energy first there, but because I took Ritual to 1 cost, it's fine. We're just removing cards now. This deck becomes good as soon as it has less cards in it. All we really have to do is remove enough and not die in the next 2 rooms, which I think we shouldn't. By the time we get to Arcus, I think this run is basically over, is what I'm saying. If I wanted to play it safe, I could take a plus 25 on a Train Steward there, but I am fine. Now the interesting question here is, do I go Strangler 2 and hope for quick 1, or do I go Thorn Lord? This is the awkward one. I think that I go Thorn Lord here. I think that I go Thorn Lord here. I'm not sure. I've never seen Strangler 3, but I don't really feel like the incant to gain attack matters that much. Kinda hurts even with Adaptive Mutation. I'm just gonna take Strangler 2. We're gonna see, I think that if I open my logbook here for you real quick, I think that I've never seen Strangler 3. Yeah, I've never seen Strangler 3. So, this is gonna be at least something never before seen on camera. I've never gone to Strangler 3. Spell Shield, none of my spells, none of my spells hit the enemies. They're all piercing. It's all horn breaks, so, you know. And this is also where we're gonna go, oh, well, I should have probably taken quick, huh? Quick would have made this run a no-brainer. 3 collectors down here. I still think this run is basically a no-brainer with Rage Adaptive Mutation, and I took Umbra Stone because it basically entirely because it's silly. But perhaps I shouldn't have. This enemy may pose a threat. If I had a double stack on the Wildwood Sap, I would feel a little bit better, but I do not. I don't think this is an issue. The damage output is relatively low, and your boy has 50 health. Up here. 64. Shouldn't this do different damage numbers? Maybe they changed how Trample Sweep works and I'm just out of my mind at this point. Oh no, this enemy is dying to spikes. That's what's happening here. Okay. 20. You're gonna take another 18. I should throw this sap at you. It's mostly just a balance of making sure that I don't have Wendleton die right now. I think that'll do. I think that'll do. I want to play Awake here and then draw back in the Wildwood Sap. We're going to duplicate... Like, going to magic shops is good. We also want to get rid of these Queen Zimplings for sure. We're going to want to duplicate Adaptive Mutation somewhere along the line, because these combats are looking a little close. The second Adaptive Mutation is the one that puts you into absurdist territory. And we are playing a Rage like, power floor against Chase Seraph. Oh hey. That's good. I think that this is going to be a case where we're going to apply so much Rage that it doesn't matter that Seraph is having it. That's got to be the case, basically. We have to have that be our outcome. Queen Zimpling can go next. Probably after Queen Zimpling, keep one Sharpen maybe. We'll see where we end up. Sharpen's alright. It's a little expensive. I guess I could also remove Consume Adaptive Mutation and then I just play it on cooldown. I need to be duplicating these rituals, so maybe that's going to be the way to go. Although, I don't know. Chase Seraph makes this one a little awkward. If this were a different Seraph, we would be fine. Once again, just fighting Seraph, but it's the worst Seraph for me. Am I doing this? Am I doing this? I think so. I think so. I don't think I'm fitting in a duplicate for this ever. Double stacking Wildwood Sap is also smart here. Makes it a little less scary as well. One thing that I will mention as well, because I'm sure that someone will point it out, I did take Pyrestone Housing and then take no units. Strangler Wendleton is just that strong though. I can't believe that I thought he was really bad in the first... My first impression of him was that he was really bad. I used to think that this was just the worst path. I just always found myself dying before I could make any use of it. I always died to Daedalus with it, which, you know, on this run I did in fact have that happen to me, so not too crazy, I suppose. But still, I was very blind to the absolute power. Maybe I needed to take Double Stack Ritual. The problem there is just that everything is way too expensive if I take Double Stack Ritual. Maybe this was a double energy run, which is crazy for me to say. But I think perhaps I was supposed to take double energy. That's weird. Everything is just so expensive. We have so many 2-cost cards we want to be playing. Like, I'm gonna have to toss these Sharpens just because I can't afford them. And the same for maybe Awake, but Awake is pretty important. Once we get to this point, though, it's basically done. Floating Fungus. I swear I never see this artifact. Whoa, that didn't look right. Preserve Thorns is okay. Different Seraph and I would take it, but I think that we just keep this deck small. I think we just keep it very, very tiny. We want to go down as low as we can here anyway. Going here. I think I will go to the magic shop. -1s are really important for us. Rage 3? Sure. Why not? Interesting. I'll take the gift of gratitude. I think it's worth it to sit on this. It's gonna be worth probably 160. Maybe I just pop it for 120. I think whenever I can play it for full energy, I spend it. I can also pay 25 gold now. This is basically just plus 15 gold, which is interesting too. I'm gonna take Awake to 1 cost, and I'm going to take... none of you. I'm gonna take this Wildwood Sap to 1 cost. The Wildwood Sap is, in hindsight, not super important. It's mostly something to just get us through the early sections of these fights. I'm realizing now it's not our boss killing plan because this is Rage Adaptive Mutation. Play mid-floor because I don't want to have to in-camp on this turn. I don't think it matters a whole lot which floor we're on. It shouldn't. I guess it's like top 4 is 1 more turn to draw into things, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter. He's gonna stop taking damage pretty soon. Don't you fucking dare! Ah! Alright, I'll just take the money. That's very awkward. It's okay though, because he stops taking damage basically on this turn. Well, next turn as it turns out. And then we heal him up and it's fine. Adaptive Mutation full heals, right? Yeah, it does. Now, am I supposed to play like Root Seeds first? I guess so, it's just plus 2 health, right? I guess if I played it afterwards though, he wouldn't have taken that damage, so... I don't know. I can't believe he really did it to me there. He really made me live in a society then. I should have played Root Seeds there. That's careless. Like, I'm really being careless tonight. That's what we're getting out of this. Is just carelessness. You got him? I mean, we get him, but it shouldn't be close. It really shouldn't be as close as it is here. Yeah, I'm concerned about Chase Seraph. I'll say it. I don't need any of these. I guess I could take the Rage Spike, but probably not. Was there... did I miss a duplicate? I did miss a duplicate, okay. Just checking. I think that it's okay, but I can't miss this one. The path that I took to miss the duplicate was really high value, so I'm not worried. I'm gonna toss the Sharpens. Next. This is... oh, purge a card, gain a card. Don't mind if I do. Another Adaptive Mutation? No thank you. Honestly though, just purge 1 there is excellent. That's one of the best events in the game. Anywhere you get to purge is free money. I don't need Pyre Health ever. I'm just gonna do nothing here. We're gonna pool our money for the next trinket shot. And no quick, but that doesn't matter. I guess I go Thornlord 1. The extra stings help us on the first turn. I'm gonna go for it. I should have ended up on Thornlord 2 here, I guess. Yeah. It doesn't really matter, though. Again, I'm not worried about Spell Shield. Curses are a bit of an issue, though. This is another one of those runs. I've had this in the past. I mean, I had this, like, yesterday, I think, where I feel like I'm going really fast, and I am going really fast, but it's not intentional. I'm not going really fast because I'm, like, in a hurry. I'm just going fast because there's not a whole lot of actual decision making to do here. There's not much for me to think about. I'm gonna do this. The play there to put the regen on is just safety. Stops him from killing himself. I want this money. We're gonna stockpile a bunch of money and then just hopefully make bank. There's the sweep trample in action for you. That right there is the perfect illustration of why I picked up that trampled stone. Mostly because that looks really silly. Also because 127 sweep is dealing this much damage on this turn. It's clearing the whole floor. All that excess damage that doesn't... Or it's not all of the excess damage is the thing that's throwing me off here, but most of that excess damage ends up going into that last enemy that would otherwise have lived. Yeah, losing attack here is fine. I definitely... This deck needs a little bit more work, for sure. It's super close, but I think that as it sits right now, we are going to die to Chase Seraph, which is a shame. But I like, maybe we can get out of this somehow. I mean, we get out of this by trying to make a weird, like, end game spreading spores pivot, I guess, actually. Yeah, alright. That works. I haven't played spreading spores in a while. Last Stand could work as well, but I'm gonna just move into spreading spores here. I was like, we were on this rage adaptive mutation plan, but we're never gonna make it on that plan. So we're gonna let Sweep Trample do all the heavy lifting, and we're just gonna scale spreading spores, it looks like here. Make the whole deck spreading spores. I don't want to remove consume here. Plus 10 on Hornbreak. This is not Diligent Seraph, so I don't need that. Almost took that. I'll double stack. Yeah. Even if it is Pyrostone, not Pyrostone Housing, but Lightstone Casing, I still take that -1 there. Rage doesn't decay is whatever. Hell's Banners is worthless. Huh. Yeah. Sure. Why not? Doubling the effectiveness of a ritual battle is fine, or spreading spores is fine. It's interesting, because on the one hand, I think that it's a little worse, because this deck is only 21 cards. I think it's a little worse to take this up to 2 cost, or back up to 1 cost rather, because we're going to be having 5 or 6 turns, or 5 or 6 spreading spores draws, so I'm going to do ritual battle here. And that might even just be a waste of money. Maybe I just wasted a bunch of money there. That's possible that that was incorrect. But once again, I will remind you, this run is free against a different Seraph. I guess, no, Diligent Seraph would be free. This run is free if this isn't chased. So, I finally am free of Diligent Seraph, only to be got once again. Oh, it's just, I built this deck in a really bad way for this boss, is all it is. I duplicated, right? Yeah, okay. Just making sure. I'm not exactly at my best here, so. Just checking. Get the quick tone down, we start scaling him up, it's fine. I think that it is right for me to throw out both rituals here instead of playing adaptive mutation. That's probably wrong, actually. I think I was supposed to play one and then adapt. I think that's wrong. Oh well. I think it is also right for me to just throw Wildwood Sap away. Okay, nice. We want to get the Trample Stone out. I should prioritize that actually a little bit more. Because what's going to end up happening is I'm just going to get locked down by these Pyre Wings at this rate. Yeah, I need to get Trample Stone down so that guy dies on that turn. I guess they're not going to lock me down a whole lot, it's just a little annoying. It does stop me from adaptive mutationing again, but this isn't really an adaptive mutation run anymore. This is a Sweep Trample regen run against Chase Seraph, but we're gonna pump out a lot of regen in the final bits here. You can see the spreading spore starting to take effect. God, fuck you, Chase Seraph. I hate you. Now we get to really amp up because he is not coming up here again. And we want to be throwing rituals out as well. And we hope that this is good enough. These are the turns, right? This is the hypothesis against Chase Seraph. You can win because you have a turn like, you have like 2 or 3 turns like this after he enters Relentless, where you just pump out an absurd amount of regen. Our regen is also doubly effective thanks to Bloating Fungus, so you know, should I have won this run? Not necessarily. I would give this one a not necessarily on should I have won this run. The fact that I just randomly rolled into the nuts on regen is strange, but I'm not gonna complain. If they want to throw me a bone here, sure. Did I play this run out particularly well? Absolutely not. No, God no. No way. But I warned you. I did warn you going into this episode, didn't I? But I do think that the Rage Adaptive Mutation line could have been a fine way to do it as well, right? Because this deck powered up a lot in this area because of Spreading Spores, but we could have also thrown 800 gold and a duplication towards Adaptive Mutation like this, right? In the same way. We could have made another Ritual Battle, made another Ritual Battle, took out a bunch of cards, and just made our game plan to increment up our attack by playing 2 rituals and then throwing Adaptive Mutation down. Because the way that it works is the effective bonus attack that we're getting from Ritual Battle gets stored into the health pool instead, and then we just swap it back. So after 2 or 3 swaps, we would have been in a fine position anyway. But the trample ended up being really meaningful too. Not like game-winning by any means, but it locked everything down and let us wipe those floors out in a pretty spectacular way. So, yeah. It's like this run, oh yeah, with the current state of the deck, we wouldn't have won based on the Rage Adaptive Mutation line, but we also spent the last 4 with our 800 gold stockpiled making Spreading Spores better instead of making Rage Adaptive Mutation better. So, it's fine. I think it is a-okay to win it like that. I mean, a win's a win at the end of the day. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.